Yo, what's good? Welcome back to Nxt Gen Amolytics. On today, I'll be giving you guys a new tutorial. This time, focused on the MLB. We'll be releasing the MLB on May 15th. I'll be giving subsequent tutorials such as this over the various features and pages that we offer for MLB. Today, we'll be focused on the batter versus pitcher slate. As you see here, I'm selected into batter versus pitcher slate, in which you can access that from the sidebar or from the MLB dropdown. Here you'll see all the games on a given day, in which you can see the probable pitchers, the start times that those games are at. And then here you got a starting pitchers table in which you see all the pitchers across the slate on today. You can see a snapshot of what they're doing for the 2026 season. You can sort this table by whichever column that you want. So right now I have it sorted in descending order of weighted OBA, but you can sort it by K. You also can sort it by barrel, if you're looking to grab a home run on the day. I'll grab an example here, being Miro Kelly, someone who struggles a little bit against left-handed hitters. So you have his splits table here, in which you'll see he's given up a 345 batting average and a 500 weighted OBA to left-handed hitters compared to a 261 and 315 to right-handed hitters. So you can see across these various stats here what he's given up to each of those sides. And then here you can see a strike zone component, in which you can see the density at which, what zones is his pitches landing in. You also can switch this over to weighted OBA to see what zones are actually batters doing well against him or doing bad against him in. Then scrolling down here, you'll see a pitch type breakdown table, in which you see the pitches that he's throwing the most. So he's throwing his changeup at 28% and his fastball at 25%. You can also see, his batting average allowed against those pitches, his weighted OBA, slug, etc. And then down here, you also can see his whiff percentage, of those pitches that batters are swinging at, how many times are they whiffing at it. And so he has a 36%, sorry, whiff percentage on this changeup. Quite high, but the Ks aren't resulting from that whiff percentage. And then you can scroll down here to see batters of the opposing team. How are they doing against his pitch mix? And currently you see Moniak here batting 330, a weighted OBA of 447. Good slug there too, 7 home runs, 13% barrel, slight K rate there at 21%. You can filter this table to the last season. So for instance, I want to go 2025, wait for that to update. So you can see Moniak did pretty good against his pitch mix last year as well, 21 home runs. And then you also can filter it down to month there. And then going back to this season, you can filter it down to, say, for instance, you want to see last 14 days against that pitch mix. You see McCarthy came up here. I'm not sure where he was before, but he's been doing well against that pitch mix in the last 14 days. Moniak's still doing decent there as well with 2 home runs, but a 20% barrel rate. So going back to full season. And then right now, the pitch mix and the strike zone component are filtered to all sides, so all batters instead of just a split side. So say for instance we want to go to the side that he's struggling in, being left-handed hitters. So now you see he's still going down and left, away from them there, but at a higher rate with 30%. You can see his changeup usage increase there, in which it went from 28%, I believe, on all to 37% to lefties. Still using the 4-seamer and then drops off at the cutter. So let's see Moniak. Moniak right now with a 330 and a 447 weighted OBA against this pitch mix. As I mentioned earlier, but the 21% K rate there. But there's a couple angles that you can go at this from. So say for instance, you just want to see, what pitches is he throwing to this 30% zone here. So for the most part, he's going changeup to that zone, and he's given up a 333 batting average. But scrolling down here, you want to see what these batters are doing, against that zone. Given that it is early, in this season, we can look back to last season to see, a little bit more plate appearances there, but none of them are doing quite well, in that zone against But you can also, with that being said, you filter to that zone, you see he's throwing a changeup 75% of the time there. So let's see what these batters are doing against a changeup in the lower left zone there, zone 13. So still not very good here, all red. And Moniak does have a 10% barrel there, so he has barreled something from that zone. So you can clear both of these. And then also, with that being said, you can, go over here and see, the zones that he's getting hit up at. So he's getting like up and right here. Not very many pitches here. He's only throwing, 5% of his pitches there. However, he has given up a high weighted OBA there. You see McCarthy, this Troy Johnson guy here as well. But say, for instance, I just want to see where he's throwing this changeup. So 60% of the time when he throws a changeup, I'm filtering only to the changeup pitch right now. 60% of the time he's going down and left, away from a left-handed batter. And so, as you saw earlier, they're not necessarily doing good when they're getting pitched to that zone. You know, Mid averages here against changeup as a whole. However, you can go as deep into this as you want. If you want to see it from a pitch level, you want to see it from a zone level, whatever suits you. But also you can look at fastball here. So I want to see fastball. So they're all doing pretty good against that fastball. So, for instance, if he's not able to locate that fastball and they can sit on changeup, they might be able to hit that changeup. But if he's able to locate his fastball, they may not have that good of a game. But at the same time, it is in course, a hitter's ballpark. So, we'll see there. But this is just an example of like how you can use this. And then you can go just, his top two pitches. So I want to see his top two pitches, who's doing well against those. I can see that as well. But where is he throwing that fastball? So he's going up and right away from them. So Johnson has some weighted OBA there. Moniak, not so much. As I said, it is early in the season, so it's not much data here, but over 27 plate appearances for Moniak there. Not so good. But also with this, let me clear these filters. Let's go, what is that, 2025 still? So let's go to 2026. And then I'll grab, for instance, his top three. Well, honestly, he's using that curveball just as much as the cutter. So let's just grab those four and let's wait for this to update. So you also can hit the drop down here in which you can see what is he doing against each pitch. So he's doing he's giving a 325 batting average against that fastball. So he's hitting the fastball pretty good. The changeup 235, and then a 333 against the curveball, and then a 444 against the cutter. You don't see color encoding on this curveball and cutter just because it doesn't meet the minimum plate appearances there. But you can also then you can also see his whiff percentage. How is he whiffing against those various pitches? 29% against that changeup. So I can see Merrill Kelly using that quite a bit. And then you can see his exit velocity, average exit velocity, and his launch angle. So he's really hitting that fastball, to be honest. But then you can drop this down to see just his fastball event. So his last, for this year, since we're doing full season right now, I'll show you all his fastball events. So you can see he had a line out against Skeens there, strikeout as well, a couple strikeouts on this fastball recently. But you can do that across each of these pitches, in which I just want to see his changeup. What is he doing against his changeup? So he's grounding out quite a bit there against the changeup. Has a single there, double, home run about over a month ago against Tang. I believe he pitches for Houston. But you can do that across each of those pitches, and as I mentioned before, you can put that season segment down to, you know, for the last 14 days, 7, etc. And then you also can do it by month. But that is batter versus pitcher in a nutshell. I will, as I said, I have subsequent, you know, tutorials just like this in which I go over the features, you know, give you a high level example of how to use them so you can better so use the platform and utilize it to your advantage. I want to thank you guys for your support. If you have any questions, concerns, you know, any ideas, please let me know. Thank you. Have a good night.